Hey everybody, if for some reason you've missed out on his channel, I don't know how, but head over and see Blake Kirby at Daddy Kerb's Farm. We're going to try something today that he says even I can do. We're going to make our own apple cider vinegar. I've set up everything that Blake used, except I'm going to use honey, which he says I can use, but he used an organic sugar. So I'm going to try using our own honey from our bees and see if I can't make our own apple cider vinegar. Plus, the one secret ingredient that I think Blake barely mentioned in his video, and I'm going to point it out to you right here. So here's what Blake said would be a good rule of thumb general recipe to follow.
Your basic recipe is going to be about a pint of chopped apples, 3 pints of water, and a cup or 2 of sugar. I prefer the organic sugar over the processed white sugar, but I don't think it really matters.
So while you were off watching that, I took the liberty of cutting and mashing up the apples that I'm going to use. You know, we don't have apple trees that are producing yet. My apple trees have put out a couple blossoms, but they've yet to fruit. So we still buy ours from the grocery store. And every week or two we buy some more to bring them into the house, and the kids eat them for snack. And we happen to have about 3 different varieties right now. So this is just a mix of, I think there's Granny Smith, Red Delicious, and some other one like a Fiji or something like that, or a Gala. I don't remember which one, but it's a mix. Okay. If you're interested in any of the things I'm going to be using, I'll put links to them down in the description below, so you don't have to wait for me to come back and comment on your comment answering the question. So check that out. Now, I don't have a full-size pickle jar to use, but I do have this half-gallon mason jar, and I think that's going to get me what I need. We're going to follow the same proportions that Blake mentioned, which, to generalize it, was 1 part apples to 3 parts water. And then we add in the sugar to get the yeast and things really going. So I've got my half-gallon mason jar, and if you're not good with your measurements, you can always check on the side. 6 cups, 7 cups, and to the rim there is going to give us 8 cups. So if we break that down, let's add in 2 cups of apples. And now we're going to basically fill this up with water, but I'm going to do it in 2 stages. I'm going to add a bit of water to this, so we'll add it to the 4-cup line. And now I'm going to turn around and we're going to add our honey to this. Again, this is raw honey from our hive. The only filtration or processing that it's had in any way, shape, or form is just a filter coming out of the extractor to make sure we don't get any bits of wax. So, bakers say honey is equal measurement as granulated sugar, so this is a 1/2 cup of sugar. I think we're going to put in another 1/2 cup just for safety's sake. With that first 1/2 cup in there, I feel like I can eyeball this measurement a little better. Alright, so that is going to provide the sugars that the yeast need to really get things going. Alright, now one more thing before we top off the water. Blake did give us a 50-50 chance of this working the first time, because we might make a mistake and mishandle the apples and get some mold onto there. But he told us that if we keep it stirred and keep the water over the top of the apples, that we should be okay. But we could increase our likelihood of this working the first time if we added some mother in. So I went to the store like Blake told me to, and I've got this Bragg brand original raw unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother, just like Blake said. So I want to get to the mother. Blake mentioned in his video that when the liquid gets disturbed, it goes down to the bottom, and sure enough, that's where we can see the actual sediment. So I don't want to waste anything, but I want to get to the mother. So we're going to pour out the vast majority of this and get down right there. Okay, I can just start to see the sediment want to come out. Get down just right there to the yeast and bacteria that's going to really make this work, and we're going to add it in. Now all we're going to do is top this off with water. Almost right to the rim. Now I'm not going to go all the way to the rim. I'm going to tell you why. First off, let's give this a little stir. We want to incorporate that honey and also that mother. Mix it all up, get all the ingredients loving each other. It's a big old party. All right. Now, one little thing that stood out to me that Blake mentioned was trying to make sure we keep the apples below the surface of the water to try to inhibit any kind of growth of mold. Well, I happen to have these little glass discs that are used for fermenting inside of mason jars. So I'm going to use this little glass weight to try to give me a bit of an advantage. That will hold the big things down. Now I'm still going to follow Blake's advice and come in here every 2 or 3 days, but maybe that'll give me just a tiny edge. So I haven't changed anything. What is Blake's big secret? Well, I know what it is. How many of you paid attention and noticed that he was using a Christmas towel? I think that's the trick. Every single one of us does this, right? Christmas towels are plentiful and they always stay around the house. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. You always end up, even if you pack away all your Christmas stuff, you end up having a Christmas towel around the house. Well, Blake, I don't have a snowman, but I wonder if my sweet holiday can get me some good apple cider vinegar. Well, y'all tell me what you think. I've never done this before, but watching Blake's video gave me the courage to give it a try. I don't have anything to lose, and I've done everything that I think I can to get off to a good start. So I'm going to tuck this away in that corner cabinet behind me where it's out of the sunlight, but where I'll be able to see it because the cabinet's got a glass cover on it, so it'll catch my attention every time I walk into the kitchen. Y'all have seen my belly. I walk into the kitchen a good bit. So y'all come back, we'll check on this throughout the next few weeks, and when it starts to clearly be a vinegar, or if we hit that other 50% we don't want to talk about, I'll come back and report to you then. Blake was such a good sport. He agreed to let me use his video on this video. So head over to his channel, make sure you subscribe. He's putting out some really great content, and even though I've never had an opportunity yet to meet him in person, it's an honor to call him a friend. So y'all go over there, support his channel, watch the video he did, and subscribe. But if you haven't been here before, hit that subscribe button up there in the corner, and we'll come back and show you how this does in the future. Thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Who knew you could buy a mother at the local grocery store?